Yeah, good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. It's quite awesome to have us here, and it's something spectacular for us to be alive this evening and learn a whole lot of things. How many of us are happy to be here? Let me see you on the comment section if you're here and you're live. Let's hear you speak. Just drop your comments. Drop your comments. We are here for you. So we made lots of promises this week, and I'm assuring you that by the end of this class, you'll be able to calculate the exact tax you should be paying coming January 1st. All right. And you'd also learn how to file this tax and also pay this tax without having to run to any office or run to any doorstep, doing it from the comfort of your home. How many of us are ready for today? Please let me just see you on the comment section. Say something while we kick it off today. Yeah. I can see you, my boss, Mr. Sampson. I'm very delighted to have you. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So today we'll be speeding off as much as possible and as fast as we can. Okay, so on the screen, admin, I would also love you to put up the link for the task calculator so that probably we could start from there for our experiments and every other thing we need to do. And I'll also be willing to share my screen at every now and then for us to get started with the things we need to get started with. Okay. So it's quite very awesome. It's quite very awesome. So as a recap for the previous classes we've had in the past, I was able to show you last week how you can make so much sales and then also not be able to pay more tax. So you're making more sales and you're paying less tax simply because we learned about the tax burden. And also part of the things I'll be giving us for free on our WhatsApp channel. Yes, on our WhatsApp channel alone. So for people on our WhatsApp channel, we have lots of goodies for you. So the resources of this class will also be sent to the WhatsApp channel. So, and the whole of the tools we'll use for this class would also be sent for free and at no costs, very much available, but only to our inner circle money group. They are the only privileged people that can get this. All right. So it's also available on our WhatsApp channel. I think the link to the WhatsApp channel is on your screen. So you can simply click that link on bit.ly/midweekms and join the WhatsApp channel and have access to all the tools we're going to be using this night. All right. So starting from the calculators and every other thing. And also for this class, please, if you have your Tax Pro Mass login details, please keep it handy. We'll show you how to navigate that Tax Pro Mass dashboard. All right. We'll teach you how to navigate that Tax Pro Mass dashboard so that you can file your tax, see what your tax looks like, your VAT, your company income tax, and every other thing you need to get hold of. It's happening now. So let's get in. If you're here, let's see your comment. Say, I am ready. Type it on the screen. I am ready. Let's see you. So that we can get started with that. Just say it. I am ready. I am ready. All right. So let's get started. It's there for us. I want to see your comments. I am ready. So our free task calculator is also coming up on the screen. Yeah. Just say it. I am ready. I am ready. Yes. So a whole lot. Yeah. Of course. Okay, so we'll rush out now. So we'll start it. We'll take it step by step, and I'll be bringing in a guest that would also help us navigate this Tax Pro Mass dashboard. Okay, so after I run you through the basic things you need to know about your personal income tax, about your company tax, about your capital gain tax, and then we'll run through the calculator so that you can see how these things are calculated. And after which, we would also tell you how to navigate your Tax Pro Mass dashboard so that you can file this tax effortlessly on your own, simplified. All right. So how many of us are ready? I'm saying I'm ready. So to recap a couple of things, for some of us in businesses, I've also taught how you can transfer your burden of task or the burden of task for your business. You know, I also negotiated and also told us there are some businesses that VAT would not apply to, especially people who are into the COGS, essential goods and services, like people who bake bread, because whatever thing, the essence of this tax is to let the poor breathe, as it has always been. All right. So they will not be paying VAT in the sense that whatever VAT they accrue in the cost of doing their business, they are asked that they would file this VAT and then they will have a tax refund on those VATs. All right. So these are things that will also be clarified. So for your personal income tax, I would also like to state that you make about 800,000 naira in a year, which is the tax benchmark, does not mean that that is what will be taxed. So we have a taxable income and we have a total revenue. So your total revenue is not your taxable income. So this calculator we are going to look into would also tell us how we would have to go about all of these things. All right. So I would give us the link to get this tax calculator so that we can work it around together. For people in the WhatsApp channel, sorry, I'm also sending it into the WhatsApp channel for us to see. All right. So people in the WhatsApp channel is there. All right. So I just sent it in now. So if you're there on the WhatsApp channel and you've seen the link, you just simply react to it and we'll be good to go. So inside there, we have 3 calculators would use to evaluate all of these things. So we need to rush because I know some of us have other things we would have to do. So we don't have to keep you waiting for long. All right. So please, I'm also pasting the link here. Please, admin, you can pick it up and put it on the screen. But then you can join our WhatsApp channel to also get the link from there. All right. So that is it. So I would want to share my screen at this moment. Let's see how that goes. All right. And let's make that work. So just give me a minute for me to be able to do that. All right, guys. All right, guys. Thank you very much for your patience. So we would speed it up now. We'll share our screen to and also tell you how these things were calculated and how we came about such. All right. So flow with me. Let's go on it. All right. All right. All right. I believe we can see my screen, right? Exactly. So what can you see on the screen? What can you see on the screen? All right. So the first thing we need to do here is it's quite very simple. Land up to this page. It's your task calculator. So the essence of this is for you to not be overcharged, or probably your means to calculate your tax, you don't actually make mistakes. You know that. So this, I'll tell you the formulas that came about this. They are verifiable. If you apply the same, you'll also get that as the case may be. All right. So flowing with me, part of the things we'll be looking into this tax calculator is the personal income tax, the company income tax, and the capital gain tax. These are the things we'll be looking into. So just straightforward, we'll launch the calculator. And for you to use the calculator, we have a free offer for you, not just the calculator. I'm telling you that we are giving so much value for this. The tax calculator is made available for you at no cost, free of charge. So we just simply want to get your email address so that we can email this free copy book to you. So the free tax playbook, it contains all the laws, all the exemptions, all the nuggets you need to know about the tax. I didn't write the book. It was directed and handed over to us by the he's let's say honorable, but the very good, wonderful Mr. Taiwo. Okay. Oyedele. and it's there on the fiscal reform website as well. But then we want to give it to you at your doorstep free of charge on your email. So you just simply fill it in, and you're good to go. So, and it gets you down to the tax, as the case may be. So we are opening all of these tabs for our tax to calculate that. All right, so the capital gain tax, the company income tax. All right, the whole of the three is opened on my system, and we are going to look into that. If you can still see me, please, you can signal to me and tell me I'm still with you. I'm still with you. So that is how that was going to be for us. So how many of us are here for us? All right. Still with you. Okay, so that is what it is for us. So it's very simple. For this tax calculator, this is to help you calculate your personal income tax. And there is also another tax calculator made available by the fiscal reform website. It's here. But then when I shared it with a couple of people, they said it was quite very complex for them to use. This is the fiscal reform website, their tax income calculator. But then, because of the complexity of it, we decided to go back and do a better work and simplify these things for you. So I'll do a lot of calculations here, starting from your basic one, assuming there is no deduction on your tax. So what this thing means is that some other people might not be privileged to have all these deductions. Now you have your pension contribution. Not every employee is privileged to have a pension deduction from their salaries. So if you're working in a bank, if you're working in a more corporate or standard organization, so every time you're paid a salary, either they go through pay income or access pension, or they didn't pay me for this advertisement anymore, but I'll still mention them. So a particular amount of money is deducted from your pension and saved for you, so that once you're done with the banking job and every other job that's depending on your company, this pension will be paid to you. They are also available for you. So, but let's even assume there is no deduction because of the nature of the company you're working with. So let's say your name is Favour, Emeli, all right? And you are earning, how much am I earning? I'm a very humble civil servant, all right? So that people will not come and... So let's keep it at 1.5 million naira. This is the annual income. So let's say that every month you're earning about 120,000 as your salary or 125,000 as your salary. All right. And at the end of the year, it accrues to 150,000 naira. All right. Sorry, at the end of the year, it accrues to 1.5 million naira. So let's even assume there is no other allowed deduction, which are optional. So you can just simply say calculate your tax. And it gives you an output like this that says, Favour Emeli, your personal income tax summary. So your gross income here is 1.5 million naira, and your pension, NFH, NH, I will explain all of these terms so we understand, all right? So at the end of the day, you're having your annual PIT, personal income tax or monthly personal income tax, as 105,000. That is what you pay out of the 150,000. Now, someone might be asking, how did we come about this figure? I would explain. So let's go back again and do another calculation so that we can understand. So I'll refresh page and do this again. So if you have this stuff, you can actually do that with me, and let's see how it goes. Please, I would also want a part of my face to still be showing on the screen so that people can see and can see my face and be able to attribute this to what they are doing. Please, admin, you can help me out with that as the case may be. Thank you very much for that. So let's go again. Then we are coming in with, let's say this time around, I was able to, in one way or the other, I got a promotion, and now my annual salary has become 5. Okay, now let's even say, because some people believe they wouldn't pay tax because of 800,000. Okay, now let's still do the 1.2 million naira. Now, you know, people say that if you're earning more than 800,000, you start paying tax, but is that really the truth? There are other allowed deductions that is permissible for you to make before you pay this tax. So let's say that for your pension, I designed this so that in case if your company does not work with a certain percentage, I already designed it to make it and give you what the industry standard is like. So you can choose to switch to the percentage part or just insert the figure. So either way you want to do, this is the select percentage mode, and this is the manual entry. As the case may be, the one you want, it's okay to use that, provided you have the exact figure, because not everybody donates 8% for their pension. Some people do less, and some people do more. So but I choose to do this percentage. All right. So, and also when you now choose the percentage, you see that there are also other percentages that you can use, but then the industry standard anywhere, anytime is 8%. So I would also recommend that, which is 8%. So if you are a human resource manager and you're on this call, please, this can be the calculator you would adopt to be able to calculate the take home of your employees. All right, so let's do 8%, the industry standard. So your NHF contribution, all right, also in percentage, industry standard is 2.5. You're allowed to deduct it from your salary. All right, so your national health insurance scheme contribution. And for this national health, you are also allowed to make a percentage of as much as 5%, which is the industry standard, 5% of your salary. All right. So you have a life insurance premium. And what is good about this life insurance premium is that you can also do for yourself and your spouse all in it. So if you're doing just for yourself, based on the percentage, is about 2.5. If you're doing as the industry standard, if you're doing for you and your spouse, is about 5%. So let's say that you want to avoid this tax by all means. You can set it at 5% for you and your spouse. Let's assume your spouse is also not working, because if your spouse is working and earning above 800K, you cannot be subtracting that of your spouse and yours, and your spouse on her own hand or on his own hand is also subtracting for the both of you. So in that case, you just do once. And now they are also so good to say that if you are living in your own house and that house was built on mortgage loan, they want to know how much of this money are you paying every month to service this loan? Because this is usually noticeable, or probably, how do I put this? Is a regular practice abroad, but then they're also saying that they know that some banks sell mortgage loans to people. Whether you build a house or not, they want to know how much are you paying in servicing this mortgage loan. So let's say that every month, because of your salary scheme of 1.2, that the bank decides they are taking 15% of this amount, which is, or 10% of these amounts, which is about 150,000 or 200,000 or 300,000. Let's say 200,000, provided it's verifiable from your account once it's checked. And another good thing here is that because the president is saying, let the poor breathe, all right? Don't suffocate them. We have that personal obligation. That's saying, if you're paying rent, you are free to also subtract 20% of your rent out of your salary, okay? And whatever is left, pay tax from it. And now someone may ask a question, what if my rent is more than 500,000? They are saying, if your rent is more than 500,000, they are saying you are no longer a small boy, you're no longer a small girl, you are now balling. So because if you're living in a house above 500K, 1 million naira, it simply means that you've left the bracket of the poor. So you're no longer allowed to breathe. At least you can be suffocated a bit, but just a little bit. So whichever way it is, so we are doing 20% of your salary. So put in your house rent. Let's say your house rent is 500,000, as the case may be. And now you calculate your tax. So it simply means, remember what you inputted here at first was 1.2 million naira as your annual salary. But then, are you really going to pay tax? Now, let's see. Your gross income here is 1.2 million naira. And out of that gross income, you're paying a pension of 96,000. You're paying an NHFF of 30,000. You're paying National Health Insurance Scheme, 60,000. And life insurance of 5%, 60,000 as well. Interest on the loan of your house, 200,000. Your rent relief also applied is 100,000. So total deductions that would make from your salary of 1.2 million naira is what? 546,000. So they are saying that the taxable income you have here is 654,000. And is this 654,000 up to the 800,000 naira the government said that if you earn above, you'll be taxed? No, it is not above that. So your taxable income is not equal to 800,000. It's less than that. It simply means that you are not paying tax. So your annual tax, personal income tax is zero. And your personal income tax is also zero, annually and monthly, as the case may be. So I don't know if someone is understanding what I'm saying now. So because you're earning $1.2 million every year does not mean you would pay tax. After you've made all these deductions, how much is left? Now let's put it this way again. Someone else who is making, remember this, you can also download this. Okay, please. Once you're done, you can also download these PDF reports. Very important. And also, because we are here in the midweek morning school, so whoever you're sending these links, you can also register through this link as well. So let's go back and make this calculation again. There is this other scenario. Let's say your annual income salary every year is about 5 million naira. Let's even say 10 million naira because you're a big boss. That means your salary every month is already 800,000. All right. So let's say 8 million naira, 9.6 because your salary is 800,000 every month. So 9.6 million. And let's go back to your allowed deduction. And your personal income tax, your pension contribution as well is 8%. Okay. Your NHF contribution as well, 2.5 industry standard. Let's even assume it's high because you're a boss. Your NH contribution, national health insurance contribution, you're having 5%, which is industry standard. Then your life insurance premium at the same time is okay, let's say 5% as well. Now, the house you're living in, because the bigger you are, the more expenses you make. That's a basic assumption anyway. So let's say you're also living in a rent, but let's even assume you are living in your own house and that house is not on loan. You're not paying rent. We'll have to remove these two. I remove this one because you're living in your own house and you fully pay the mortgage in that house. You built the house with your money. So that is why sometimes when you listen to people abroad, when they say that they are always on a loan, some of them want to be on a mortgage loan so that because they believe that if you have that house, you'll be paying tax on that house. And if that house is on mortgage, you have a tax deduction on that as well. So they prefer to go and take loan to build a house, even when they have the money to build a house, so that when they calculate their tax, they would have that tax deduction, provided the percentage tax deduction is more than the loan interest they would have paid. All right, so plus or minus, they're on the positive. And now, again, these two will have to go up because you're living in your own house. Now we calculate your tax. You will see how the result is different. And you're having a total deduction of 2.2 million naira, but your taxable income is 7,392,000. And what does this mean? It means a whole lot. 93,380 naira every month to be deducted as your tax. So I'll come back to the screen so that I can actually get our responses. All right. So how many of us followed us on this one before we move over to the next calculator we'll have to use? How many of us, if you actually get this, please let's see on the comment section to know that we are working on that. So the link to this is also on the screen. So you can simply just input that and do your calculation. So this, you might not have to bother to do that now because the link will be sent to the WhatsApp channel. All right. So also the link to the WhatsApp channel will be displayed on this screen right away so that we all can see it and have a knowledge of that. All right. So how many of us got what we are talking about so that we can do that? Okay. So someone was able to get that. And that was awesome. Someone said, I didn't really get it. I wish you can actually type so that we can know how to help exactly. Can you type on the comment section to tell us what exactly you didn't get so I can actually help out clarify? Are you still with us, Wanitesi? I don't know if I pronounced the name right. So when I'll make this up. So please, if you're on this call and you think there are people that need to understand this, please send them a link. I would go through this again for people who didn't understand. Okay, so that we can all of us can be on the same page. If you're just joining now, for you to understand what we are saying, you can start afresh and put your speed at 2x so you can catch up with us. All right. So let's do this again. For the last time, I will just go through it again. Remember, you have the link scrolling on your screen. As easy as that could be, it makes a whole lot of sense. So let's share the screen again. All right. So the personal income tax. I don't know if anybody can see my screen. Did I do that right? Okay. Okay. Yes. Is everything okay? Can everybody see my screen? All right, it's up. It's up now, right? Okay, so we are going again. I'll refresh the screen before we move over to the next one. So, can someone give? Let me take a name from the call and see. Mr. Sales Guru, I can see you. Thank you very much for being here. All right, so let's use the Sales Guru. These are my guys making so much money. Sorry, they are making a lot of money, not so much, a whole lot more than so much. Like, those people that need bullion van to travel with them this Christmas because they do lots of charity. So, as Sales Guru, where you be? Let's say we are giving you about annual income of about let's say 300 million. I hope I'm not underestimating your worth, sir. So let's say 300. Okay, as a person, okay. Let me be minimal with this. Probably when I come to the company income tax, I'll have to probably use the 300 million. But let's go with this. Let's say the sales group makes 300 million naira, and from that 300 million naira, his business makes, he's able to place himself on a salary of 3 million naira monthly. All right. So it simply means that at the end of the year, he's able to make about 3 million times 10, 300, 36 million naira. All right. So we are seeing your pension contribution. So we can decide to, this time around, do a manual entry, but we don't know what 8% would be so that we can save ourselves that calculation. So we choose the percentage mode again. And the industry standard is 8%, and we are good. So we have the NHF contribution, and the industry standard for this is 2.5% of whatever you are earning. You are free to deduct that. The NHIS contribution, you also select percentage. Industry standard is 5%. You can choose to do more than that because some people decided to use maybe NHIS has different subscription plans you can use. You can actually do the top plans, medium plan, least plan. So let's say because Sales Guru is very rich, he decides to pick the top plan, 7%. And life insurance premium, because he's also a very wealthy man, he decides to do that of him and his wife, which is 5%, 2.5% each. And let's say because he's smart enough to build his house on a loan, let's say for every month he's paying a mortgage of about let's say 10% of that money, which is 3,600,000. So that means he cannot take any money out of the rent because he can't be paying mortgage and also be paying rent at the same time. So let's calculate the tax for Mr. Sales Guru every month and see what it would be. So the Sales Guru personal income tax summary, it means that the gross income for Sales Guru is about 36 million naira every year. And for his pension, he's doing 2.8. And for his NHF, he's doing 900. For his national health insurance scheme, 2.5. For his life insurance, he loves his life so much, so he's doing 1.8 million naira for that. And the interest of the loan of the mortgage plan he's repaying because of the house he has, 3.6 million naira. So every reduction Mr. Sales Guru has made from 36 million naira annual income is 11.7 million naira, which is understandable. So his taxable income, you subtract this 36 million plus from this 17, and you're having 24.3 million. And now, the person who made 801,000 as deductible income and someone who has 24.3 million naira as deductible income, what is the percentage they'll be paying at every now and then of that? Listen to this carefully. I will come to it. So let me come back so you can see my face properly when I'm talking about this. All right. Please, you can feel free to view the sales guru. Okay. Okay, sorry, I think I now get what you're saying. You said your last word was that your monthly tax for someone making 9.8 million is around 93K. Do you mean annually or monthly? Of course, monthly, not annually. Of course, monthly. But depending on what deductions you've made on this 9.8 million naira, all right? So that is what exactly I mean. Probably I'll still go back to that to show you exactly what it's all about. So now I want to make these facts clear to us. If you're making 0 to 800,000, of course, you're paying nothing. If you're making between 800 and 1,000, not as your revenue, as your taxable income. Remember, I've explained what the taxable income means. As your taxable income, all right, that is what it would be. So from 801,000, from 800,000 1 naira to 3 million naira, the tax goes up to 15% when your taxable income falls within that bracket. All right. So from 3 million and 1 naira to 12 million naira, you pay 18% from that taxable income. All right. So from 12 million and 1 naira to 25 million naira, you pay a taxable income of 21%. Okay. So from 25 million naira to 50 million naira, this is where the sales growth taxable income fell into, which was around 24 million naira. All right. So, okay. Yeah. 23%. So if you're earning above 50 million naira on your personal income, whether your company is paying you 25 million naira or you're earning it by anyhow, it simply means that the cap for this is 25%. There is nothing that will make anybody charge you more than 25%. So you're seeing that the Nigerian tax law is using this tax system called the progressive tax system. So it simply means that the more you earn, the more you pay. The more you earn, the more you pay. There are other countries too that uses the regressive tax system that shows that the more you earn, the less you pay. So they're simply encouraging the poor to work hard and become rich. But in our country, being so compassionate, we are allowing the poor to breathe so that the poor can have enough balance, enough stamina, enough savings so that they can come up to the rich and pay more. All right. So nobody has an excuse not to pay tax anymore. So the next one we have to go into now is the company income tax. If you have a business here, please let me see you in the comment section. Let me know the people I'm talking to. If you have a business, let me see you in the comment section. Let me know the people I'm talking to. And after this, I'll also talk to the people and I'll also address the people who are investment brokers, the investment traders. You buy shares, you trade crypto, because crypto is also seen as a capital asset. It's been acknowledged as a capital asset. So if you're trading crypto, it falls under the capital gain tax. If you're trading shares, capital gain tax. If you're dealing in real estate, capital gain tax. If you're selling your cars, capital gain tax. So whatever you can assume to be a medium of buying and selling that gives you an added advantage, capital gain tax. You have a business, please. Okay, so I've seen one person who has a business. He said, Wonder Wide Animals. All right. You have a business. I wish I can know what your business is all about, so we can actually use that fully for it. So let's move over to that and use Wonder Wide Animals Limited. Wonder Wide Animals Limited. All right, so here we go. I'm seeing someone saying I run a recruitment agency. That's awesome. You can also put that on the link and we'll work it out as the case may be. So I'm heading over to the company income tax so that we can speed off. I don't know why it takes so long for this screen to show. Please, admin, look at this. Is anything wrong with it? And let's know. Please give me a sec to check it out. Oh, all right. So here we company income tax, Wonder Wide Animal. So let's go. Wonder Wide Animals Ltd Limited. Now this is where it gets a little bit more complex. So for there is something I call I think part of these days before the year runs out, so we might also have to run that training, finance for the non-finance. Okay, so when we run some financial numbers for people, they think it's quite technical for them to understand. All right. So let's say that Wonder Wide Animals, because the tax have said that you must have to earn up to 100 million naira to be eligible to pay tax. And you must have a capital asset on your business of about 250 million naira capital assets to be able to pay tax. But then, is that really what it is? Are we talking about your revenue? Are we talking about your taxable income? Or are we talking about how much is left after you've done your expenses? Remember, I've said something. There is a difference between your revenue and your taxable income. That you made 100 million naira does not mean you pay tax. But after you've minused your expenses and a couple of other things we'll talk about here, we'll now see if you will pay tax. Now, let's look at this. All right, so Wonder Wide Animals Limited. Let's say Wonder Wide Animal Limited makes a turnover of, let's say, at that cap price of 100 million naira. All right, so let me count the zero properly. All right, it's complete, 100 million naira. And his profits before tax. How much is his profit before tax? I don't know how much. Let's say you're able to buy a dog, and I don't know if you trade on wild animals, Wonder Wide Animals, but now let's assume it's wild animals anyway. So let's say you were able to buy a lion for, some things are quite funny. I don't know where I came across that post, just to buy a cub, just a very young lad, about 3 months old, little lion called a cub. And the price tag I saw was 23 million naira. That was when I decided that people who run National Geography and all those zoo and safari, they must be very rich. Now, let's say Wonder Wide Animals Limited also runs that kind of business. And out of the 100 million turnover he made, let's say his profit before tax was around, let's say 30 million. All right. And his fixed assets, remember, the government say if your fixed asset is up to 250 million, fixed asset simply means that probably you have a house, you have a land, value of real estate that is attached to the business. So whatever thing called assets, the machineries in your companies, whatever thing that can go through amortization and depreciation. I hope I'm not speaking in long grammar. Okay, amortization and depreciations. Anything that can be amortized and that can depreciate can also be considered an asset. So that car your drivers are using to transport the animals is considered a business asset. All right. So after all of that, to calculate all those assets, are they up to 250 million naira? Let's even assume that they are, all right, 255 million naira. And capital allowances, these are capital allowances that can be deducted. All right, so let's say capital allowances, we are talking about, let's talk about your payrolls, operational costs, and a couple of other things. In a year, let's say you're in about 15 million naira in that regards. All right. So business allowable deduction, operating expenses as well. Let's say we are having about 2 million naira here. Taxes already paid in credits, if any. Let's say you've paid some, maybe you imported some animals and you paid import duty and all of that. So let's say you paid a couple of, let's say 500,000 here. And then are you using a standard company or multinational? So multinationals, they are subject to ETR top-up rules. Now, there is something called a special law for multinationals, because I remember one of the species when Mr. Taiwo Oyedele was talking, and someone asked the question. He said, if my business is in Nigeria, yes, but it made profits in the South African branch, would I pay tax? And the simple answer is this. If the total profit your business have made, both in South Africa, in USA, in Nigeria, is up to the benchmark of taxable income, yes, you will pay tax. And that law was applied in this multinational / subject to ETR top-up rules, as the case may be. But let's assume that you're using a standard company. So, are you a small business? If you want me to treat you as a small company, CIT exempted, company income tax is exempted, no problem. But because you're already hitting the 100 million, you cannot use this anymore. So first, the ETR checkup top up. Let's even assume no too as well. I will explain all of these things so we understand. So, company income tax rates, the standard whatsoever is 30%. But then there are certain businesses that the government can look at and decide to give you an alternate percentage of 25%, but the standard everywhere according to law for companies is 30%. All right. So the ETR is the same everywhere, 15. So let's now calculate the company tax rule for this guy. So accessible profits this guy has made, despite that his revenue is 100 million naira, is 30 million. So before I go further, I want to ask us, would this guy pay tax or not? If you actually been following my class, what I've been explaining. Would this guy pay tax? I want to see you in the comment section. Does someone say no, sir? Okay. So let me know, would this guy pay tax? Now, his applicable CIT rate is 30%. Corporate income tax, 3.9. All right. Development levy is normal. No matter what you're doing, you will pay development levy and all of that. So now let's look at this. At the end of the day, this guy, his net profit after tax or net payable now as the case is 25.8. So someone who has this income at the end of the year as a company is really going to pay tax. Now let me come back to this so that we can understand what I'm saying properly. Now remember the law says that for you to as a company pay tax, you must have a net taxable income of 100 million naira. And then your assets will be up to 250 million. Now, if we go back to this now and recalculate that, we'll have to understand a couple of other things that are also there. So I don't know, because our time is fast spent, before I address people who are into investments, please, I want to bring up Shegu to launch us deep into the Tax Promas dashboard so that we can move into that. So, Mr. Shegu, please, if you are ready, please, you can unmute your mic and I will bring you up to the stage. Remember, we have one more class to go on the capital gain tax. We have to calculate that for people who are into crypto, who are into the stock market, money market, and a couple of other things. Please, Shegu, I don't know, are you here with us? Please, you can unmute your mic and I will add you to the stage. All right, thank you very much for unmuting. So in the next 3 seconds, you will be added to the stage. You can feel free to share your screen. There is a plus button below the screen where you can use to share your screen as well. So should there be anything, I'll be at the back end to address whatever issues that will bring. So at the count of 3, you will be at the stage. 3, 2, action.
All right, good evening, everyone. Good evening, Mr. Favour. Thank you for having me. Yes, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. Thank you very much for coming here. Yes, I can hear you, Mr. Shegu.
All right, thank you, Mr. Favour. Thank you. Wonderful presentation so far. I'll quickly run through the tax promax. Of course, the tax promax is just being able to file at your own convenience without, stepping out of your house to go to any tax office, to go and file your taxes or any other thing. So basically, it just helps you to easily access the portal at the comfort of your house. So basically, this is how it looks like once you log in your details. So you enter your email address and your password, and it opens your page.
Have you started sharing, Mr. Shegu? Okay, yeah.
Yes,
it's visible now. Yes.
I've started sharing. So this is how, the interface looks like once you enter your email address and your your password. So this is a website address. It's called taxpromise.firs.gov.ng/taxpayers. So it opens a dialog box.
So
you enter your
this
email
link will also
address.
be sent to the WhatsApp channel, please. I will send it across now. So I will also upload the link to the WhatsApp channel on the screen so that you can be able to access these links Mr. Shego is talking about. Thank you, sir. Please continue, sir.
All right. So once you enter that, your details, it brings you to this particular interface. So this is a friend's email. Email details that I enter just to, show the valid and live example for everyone. So you come here, you see the home page, and it's here showing tax due. The other one is showing concluded assessments. Here is showing your tax wallet. I'll basically just run through everything. This is saying your ledger balance. This is saying additional assessments, your taxpayer details, group taxes, credit reports. To process your TCC is saying your tax clearance certificates. And this one is your asset manager, then info, any audit and investigation. So basically what this interface is saying that, okay, yeah, once you click here, if you have any tax due, it's going to show you. So I'll click on this one so that we'll just run through. Okay, it's loading. So your tax due is just showing that, are you owing the FIRS any taxes, basically. So it's going to show on that platform. So for example, okay, it has logged me up. Let me quickly log in back. Just give me some few seconds. Let me quickly log in back.
You can exit the screen while you're logging in.
Yeah. It's displaying. I'm still sharing, so everybody can still see my screen. So I enter the email address. Then I enter my password.
So at gmail.com, I don't know if that is.
Oh, sorry. At gmail.com. And I enter my password. Then once I click login, it brings me to this stage. So like I said, once I click on the tax due, it shows me that, so this is showing the VAT assessment saying that because VAT is on a monthly basis. So if you're registered as a business owner, an individual business owner, you're an entrepreneur, you're supposed to file in your kind of business it has to do with sales. That means on a monthly basis, you charge your customer 7.5%, and on a monthly basis, you remit to FIRS. That's on the 10th day of every month. So this guy here is showing that he has not filed for all of this month, and that's why he's having this, pending, meaning that he has not been filing. So like Favour said, even though you're exempted from paying taxes, maybe you didn't meet the threshold of the 100 million and the 250 million threshold for your assets, it doesn't mean you won't file, because the law is saying that, okay, because your revenue is just talking about your sales for a particular year is not up to that amount. It doesn't mean you won't file, because if you don't file, that's you're going against the VAT rules, meaning that you'll be penalized for not paying. So whether you meet the threshold, whether you don't meet the threshold, you file your accounts. And that's why, it's easy for you to just easily access. So you won't say anybody stressing you. You can easily access at the comfort of your house, prepare your accounts, and just file it in. So once you file it in, then you're covered, whether you meet the threshold or whether you don't meet the threshold. So this one is just showing basically that, these are all the, assessments that I need to have filed and I didn't file, and that's why it's showing all this pending. And of course, definitely, there will be a penalty for not filing. And like I said, for VAT, file it's on a monthly basis, while your company income tax is on an annual basis, on a yearly basis. So, like I said, if whether you meet the threshold or you don't meet the threshold, for a company income tax to file annually, while based on your accounting year end, and based on VAT, you file on a monthly basis. So basically that's that. And if we move on to the other, so this one is showing concluded assessment. So let's say, for example, you filed in your taxes for that particular year or on a monthly basis. If there are any one, let's say, okay, FIRS comes to do an audit and they find out that there's a differences, then of course it's going to show here that, you know, whether the assessment has been concluded, because basically in Nigeria is we operate a self-assessment regime where, you know, nobody's going to force you to come and file in your tax. But as a responsible Nigerian citizen, you're obligated to file in your taxes yourself, which is called the self-assessment. So you self-assess yourself, like the calculator or Favour has showed us. You know, once you assess yourself, then you file in your taxes. Do you get? And once you file in your taxes and everything is accurate, once the FIRS comes to do an audit and they find out that, okay, there are no discrepancies or any differences, you know, it will show that, okay, yeah, you know, basically we've carried out an audit and everything is basically fine. That means the assessment which you've assessed yourself is okay and proper. Then basically this is just showing your tax wallet to see, you know, basically this one does not have any, you know, record of any, you know, details. So that is that. And this is your ledger balance. So in your account, you might have some, you know, ledger balances while preparing your accounts, and you might need to file that, or if, you know, the FIRS request for that, you can easily, you know, just come here and download it here and file it in here. And if there's any, you know, additional assessment pending, like I said, if you self-assess yourself here, basically using the calculator of the company income tax Favour showed us, and you've assessed yourself accurately, then there won't be an when the IFRS guys comes for audit, that means, you know, and you did your calculations very well, then that means there won't be any additional assessment. But in the case of where there's an additional assessment where, you know, there were some wrong calculations, or, you know, some expenses or some incomes that you didn't add to your accounts in the course of preparing your account statement, your financial account statement, then again, of course, that means there'll be difference when the audit guys come and audit your account. So, you know, this will now, you know, will flag up here showing that, you know, there's some pending additional assessments that you need to pay. And basically this one is just showing your details of your taxpayer, your email, your phone, where you can easily be reached, and your office address or any other thing. While this one is just speaking to, you know, you have a group company, and, you know, you, or let's say, for example, you know, banks that have branches all over the country where they prepare a kind of like a group account. So yeah, so basically these are for big companies that have, you know, branches or subsidiaries in other parts of the state or outside the country. And of course, this is a credit report. So this one is saying that, okay, you've done the business and you withheld taxes from your clients. And of course, you know, the way withholding taxes is, it's an advanced tax system. So in a way, you're not paying any taxes, but it's just a credit system showing that, you know, you can claim a relief. So let's say, for example, you were doing a business, you were given a contract, and you've been withholding taxes from your clients and everything. It adds to your accounts, showing that you have credits. All those credit report, all those 5% of withholding tax that you might have deducted, depending on the nature of the transaction or services that you might have charged a withholding taxes on, then it comes to your credit report. So at the end of the day, let's say you have a tax liability of 1 million to pay, and you have a tax credit of 200,000. You cannot use this 200,000 to deduct from your tax due, your tax liability due year. So that meaning whatever that will be remaining here will be, you know, what is less from this credit that you not pay as your tax. So this one is just like, you know, having some change in your account saying, oh, that I can use at the end of the year to offset whatever my tax liability due for that particular year is. So that's what this credit report is saying. The credit report is just saying that, oh, your withholding taxes credit that you've withheld from your clients over the course of the year is now reflecting here.
Yeah.
While
Yeah.
this one
Sorry.
is not saying,
Let me just quickly say this. I don't know. Someone is asking on which portal should I find my tax. So there is a WhatsApp channel scrolling on your screen. Please just log in there, and the link to this dashboard has actually been shared on the WhatsApp channel. So you go to the WhatsApp channel, click this, and just log in. You would also access the same dashboard from your end if you have your login. So please, thank you very much. Sorry, Mr. Shegu, please, you can go ahead again.
all right, so, and this is saying, to process your TCC. What's TCC? Your TCC is your tax clearance certificate. So let's say, for example, you want to bid a contract with the government or a bank, and you're saying, no, you have to produce your tax clearance certificate. As far as you've been filing your taxes and, you don't have any issues or anything, you can easily come here and just, press it and, file in your request, basically. Once you enter your request here, and you'll be told to submit your financial statement and evidence of your payment that you've done over the course of the year. And of course, the way it is, your tax clearance certificate shows your 3 years certificate of your balances that your tax payment that you've made over the last 3 years. It shows that's the certificate of what your tax clearance certificates issue. So if you've been paying your taxes in the last 3 years, then you can easily, come here, and even though if it's 1 year, then the last 2 years you've not done anything, or maybe it's a new business and you need a tax clearance certificate for that particular year. All you just need to do is, prepare a nil account for all those other 2 years. Then the one that you have the account, you prepare for it for that 3rd year. Then you go ahead and apply for your TCC. So basically, all these words are for information. Your asset manager. Then this one is if there's any audit investigation report that is going on, and they're asking you to to file in anything that they require additional information. That means the FIRS audit guys need additional information from you. They can tell you, we need your ledger, we need social documents, we need your bank statement to back up this claim. Then of course, this is where you come and dump them so that it can be easily accessed. And then again, if there's a change of address of your business address, you can easily come here and update your profile and say, oh, my business has moved from Onisha. I'm now in Enugu. You can easily come in here and update your address, or I'm moving from Lagos to Abuja. My company is no longer in Lagos, or is in Abuja. You can easily come in here and update or you open another branch and you want to update it, and you can easily just come here and update, your address. And if you have any complaints or any inquiries, you can always come here too and click on it. And then basically the request is just saying, yeah, if you want to request for your TCC or anything, or you need anything from the FIRS, you can come here and make that request. While this is just saying your taxpayer details, which is still here, it's the same thing, and it shows your profile on our portal here. But the thing most mistake people do is think they are automatically on the tax promise. So if you're not on the tax promise, you might need to update your status with the tax promise. And your tax office just basically walk in there and ask them to give you an update form. You fill, and once you're done with that, they update you onto the tax promise, and you can be live on this portal. And it's easy for you to do because, excuse me, we're initially working on the web portal. And most people think, oh, because I have my TIN, I'm automatically on tax promax. No, most people are not on tax promax. You might need to go to your tax office, and your tax office might just be, the nearest tax office close to you, and tell them to give you an update form that you want to be on the tax promax. I think basically,
exactly like this question on the screen now, where Mr. Sampson is also asking, how do individuals get tax promax access? Have a team
so
with
like I said, if you have your TIN, if you don't have a TIN, then you might need to do a TIN registration first. But if you have a TIN and you're not sure if you're on tax promax, you might need to reach out to your tax office and ask them for an update form. Once you get the update form, you fill it and you submit it to them. Then they update you on the tax promax.
So is there a cost associated to this, or is it entirely free?
No. Everything is free. No, there is no charge for any of these services. There's no charge. To apply for your TCC, your tax clearance certificate is free. To apply for TIN is free. Nothing is, you don't pay for anything, basically. Everything is free.
All right, so if there are more questions to ask, you can also drop your questions on the comment sections and I'll bring it up to the screen for Mr. Shego to clear us on dates. So all the questions I've been getting on my DM, please, it's now time for you to ask these questions here directly on the platform so that every other person can actually learn and grasp a level of knowledge and clarity from it. So if you have more questions, just drop it down in the comments and I'll bring it down to the screen for every one of us to see and learn from it. So while we're waiting for questions, Mr. Shego, if there are other things you think we should also be enlightened on, you can also let us know about it.
Yeah, as aware, the new tax law is going to take effective from January 1st, 2025. So basically, if you look at it, if you are filing your taxes, it's submitted on a prior basis, meaning that for 2026, the accounts you'll be submitting is for 2025, basically, right? So, meaning that, all of these new laws will apply then for your VAT and your withholding tax, just know that from 2026, it's going to start to apply. So it's best to, prepare yourself, get yourself in order so that you don't start, failing from the beginning of the year, and, so that, you don't get penalized for not filing accurately or promptly. So it's good to reach out to your, someone that can put you through early enough so that you can get the right knowledge and be able to file at the right time. Basically, like I said, even though you're exempted, you're still meant to file for your taxes, because some people just say, oh, thank God, I don't meet that threshold. My business, not small business, and that means I don't get any business with FIRS or anything. So I might not need to file. And then again, as a business individual, your responsibility as an entrepreneur, your responsibility is to the state. Meaning that, you are registered as a business name, meaning that, you don't file with FIRS, you file with the Lagos state or whichever state you are in. But once it comes to a VAT, you're doing a sales services, then that's the portion that goes to FIRS, because VAT is federal. That means you charge 7.5% on your sales or whatever services that you do. And then again,
All right,
what else?
There are questions on the screen. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Sorry to cut you short. Before you continue, there are questions on the screen I would also wanted to just quickly attend to. And there are about 3 questions. And as you answer, I would also bring up more questions that are here piled up. So the first question here is, can I get a TIN at the FIRS office? And someone else is asking, someone else is asking, can I walk into any FIRS office? I did my TIN in Abia, but I'm currently in Abuja.
Okay, so yes, you can walk into any FIRS office. Yeah, you can walk into any FIRS office and ask for a TIN. They'll basically, you just go with your CSC certificate and your letter headed and tell them that you want a TIN, and basically to be open for you. So if you open your TIN in Enugu and you're not in Abuja, so like I said, it's just to go to, the tax office in Abuja and tell them that they should give you an update form. You want to move your tax file from Enugu to, and once you're online, basically, you like I said, you can update your taxpayers details and your address and say, oh, I'm now in Abuja, I'm no longer in Enugu, and I need that update form. So you just basically fill it and they will move you to, the closest tax office to where your business is, basically.
All right. There's another question here on the screen that says, my concern is on the finances entering my account. My annual income is around 855K, and I work with a school that most payments like WAEC, NEC, and all other school registrations are done on my account. So I want to know, how can I fight to avoid not paying money that is not mine? I believe this is on his personal account.
So that's basically, your personal account should be personal accounts. Your business account should be your business account. Your income from your business account should not come into your private account, because, put it on the opposite side. I'm seeing so much money in your account and you're telling me now my money will not be business money. You need to prove it. So once you can lay evidence and say, oh, this is income from, oh, my brother dashed me this, my sister dashed me this, but not from a business income, saying your business income is not coming into your personal account. It should be a separate account. So you ensure that you have that discipline that and say, oh, whatever business I'm doing, it goes to my business account. And whatever my personal money is, it goes to my personal account. It should not be mixed together, because all of this, you provide evidence. And by the time I'm seeing your bank statement and I'm seeing, incomes coming from different angles, and you can't give a vivid reason or a valid reason to say, oh, no, this is not a business transaction, because, the law is out to tax your income from your business and not from your personal money, because your personal money has been taxed already from your organization already. So that will be double taxation. And in order to prevent that, you should always separate your accounts.
All right. Are there more questions would have to answer? Please feel free to drop your questions, and would moving right with that. I'm trying to check on the screen to see there are more questions available for us to do that. All right. So I'm not seeing any further questions. So now on the comment section, I want you to, if you ever bought shares in your life, if you've ever bought lands in property, lands, shares, anything, please, I want you to just put on the screen. Nobody will kidnap you. I'm sure you're very safe. Just put it on the screen so that we know that we are talking to the right people for the next session we want to go into now. All right, so that we can actually
thank you, Favour.
see the way to calculate. Just a minute more. Sorry, just a minute, Sheiks, please. Because I think there is also a another place you might have to bring in a little bit clarification. Okay. So in terms of no question, Mr. Shegu, I really appreciate you. And probably after this session, I'm still gonna give you a call to say a special thank you. Mr. Shegu has another meeting he has to catch up with, so he might not be available here with us all throughout the class. So, but what we say to Mr. Shegu, thank you very much. We are happy to have you on our class tonight. It's a midweek morning school that we always do every week. So, Mr. Shegu, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Favour. Thank you so much. Have a great time.
Yeah, thanks a lot. All right, guys, I promised you that this will be lots of value, and I'm keeping to my word. All right, so how many of us have gained value so far? Mr. Shegu is doing so much, and he has actually helped us in a couple of things, and it's quite awesome to have him here on this call to make things work out for us. So the next thing we'll have to go into, I don't know, but I'm still waiting. If you've ever bought shares in your life, if you've ever bought land, whatever thing you can call a capital gain from your real estate, your housing, your a car which you've bought that is deemed an asset, stocks, crypto. Let's see on the comment so that we can move on to the last part. All right. So I can see two comments saying I have bought. All right. So sometimes when we talk about shares, people think you need to use millions and billions of naira to buy shares. Something as low as 20,000 can get you shares in the most well-doing company. And someone is also asking, does gold count? Yes, provided you will sell it and you make profit and you make gain from it and a couple of that. So are we moving into that, or we should suspend, because I'm not seeing so many hands admitting that they've bought land, when I know some people here have doings, like big doings. I don't want to drag them out. All right, so we'll also share our screen and then move into the capital gain tax calculator, and that is where we'll draw the curtain for tonight. All right, so so far, I also want to say thank you for having these number of people on the call this evening. And for next week, we'll be concluding on the tax series. All right, so the year is coming to an end, and we also have to start setting our future financial plans for 2026. And there is no other place you can actually do that best if not here with us. I'll be dishing out lots of materials that will help you forecast your financial future. And currently, we are working on a personality test, financial personality test. The same way people understand themselves. All right, you understand that. Sometimes when you talk with people, they tell you this is my kind of person. I like to talk the way I like. If you don't like it that way, you go. I say things. Everybody have their own personality test. But then, have you asked yourself, what is your financial personality person? Like, what is your financial personality? So probably next week after the series, the upper week will be addressing this thing so that you would know if your personality is avoiding or is stopping you from making money or is stopping your wallet from getting large. So we'll look at those things and we'll put that into place. Please don't miss any of our meetings. They are always back to back. And on our WhatsApp channel, we always drop tools that would help you make things work for you every time, every moment. All right. So it's almost a wrap. Let's just do this one more thing and we'll end it for today. All right. So I'll go ahead again to share my screen and would move on with that. All right. So that is it. That is it. We've done the company income tax. We've done the personal income tax. So we are going in now for the personal gain, capital gain tax. All right. So this is it. My screen is up for you to see. All right. So the Midweek Money School, the capital gain tax, the CGT calculator. All right. So before I move into this, I would love to explain something in the likes of the shares. There are exemptions, there are tax there. And there is also something that was stated by the chairman of the fiscal tax reform policy. All right, Mr. Taiwo Edele. He made a statement that if there is also a relaxation or an exemption that says that if you are selling your own house, a house where you are living in, all right, so it's not considered a capital gain. Even if you bought that house at 100,000 and you sold it at 500 million naira, you don't pay tax on it. Yes, you might pay a VAT, but then you don't pay a capital gain tax on it. There might be a withholding tax, which I'm not so sure, but you don't pay a capital gain tax on that because it's considered a house where you are living in. And he is also saying that if you're selling to the tune of the maximum number of 2 cars that are yours, there is no capital gain tax on that because they are your cars. But anything above that, you start paying a capital gain tax. So that being established, they're also saying that for investment traders, that people who buy shares and stocks in the stock market, they are also saying that you would also have to trade to a volume of about 150 million naira to be able to pay a capital gain tax. And what does this mean? And they're also putting in something else that says that, let's say you bought your shares at 20 naira. All right. And your shares also did so well that it came up to 30 naira and you want to sell. So they're also saying, what is the inflation rate between the time you bought this share to the time you're selling this share? All right. Let's say from 2024, okay, from 2025 to 2027. All right. And your shares has done 50%. And the inflation rate at the same time has gone 10%. They are saying that you have to deduct the effect of this inflation rate from that. Because if inflation rate has caught up with your investment, it simply means you didn't make any gain. So these things we are well calculated to show that lots of deduction can happen so that you don't pay. You know, a lot of things happened last year and last 2 years. Sometimes we heard about some companies, especially in the pharmaceutical line, that came to Nigeria and they closed up and went back home. Why? Because even when they folded or went back home, they still have to pay lots of taxes on a capital gain tax, even when they did not make profits. And it became an issue because now the government is saying, we are sorry because we don't want foreign investors to leave our borders anymore. So if you're coming and when you came in, dollar was 1,500 because you brought in dollar to the nation. And now you're about leaving and dollar has gone to 1,600. And the profit you make cannot account for this dollar conversion. It simply means since you've made no profit, since the dollar inflation has caught up with your investments, they are saying you are not paying capital gain tax. So there is nothing to be afraid of. This is a good news for foreign investors to come into Nigeria now. Why am I saying all of these things? So that we can understand what in full version what capital gain tax is talking about. All right. So let's make this work out. So let's say Someone like who is there on the group? Let's say so the link to the WhatsApp channel is floating on the screen. All right, please just simply type it out and come into the WhatsApp channel. All these links have been dropped there, and so much other value will come in there by tomorrow morning, and the resources for this class will also be sent there on that WhatsApp channel. And if you're not on the email list, and probably you joined this class because someone posted the link on their status, on their WhatsApp group, and the rest of that, please, there'll also be a proper registration so that we can have your emails and send you valued documents that can help you. Because at the end of this month, we'll be concluding with this tax session. I will be going into the real money session because this is a money school. All right. It's a money school, and we have to talk about money. I love to talk about money. I love money. Whether you say the love of money is the root of all evil, it's not that kind of love, but I love money. Give me, I will take. All right. So back to our calculator on the capital gains tax. Now let's look. Let's say someone who bought shares, let's say Mr. ABC and XYZ. And I would love to use a name here. Okay, let's use, someone asked the question here. So let's use Nkerowa. I don't know if I made that. Kerowem Edet. At least I can pronounce Edet. Edet lives in Calabar. Those days in school. All right. So, what kind of property are we trying to evaluate? Are we trying to evaluate lands and buildings? Thank you very much for that correction. Kerowem. The pronunciation is what I don't know, but then thank you for the spelling. I appreciate that so much. So, the capital gain tax is asking, what are we trying to evaluate? Are we trying to evaluate property? Is it land? Is it building? Or are we trying to evaluate shares and securities? So let's assume we are trying to evaluate shares and securities. So is there a disposal exemption? So yes, say yes, apply exemption rules. Because of at what point you're selling and probably from the point you bought, what could probably be the difference. So let's look at that. Now, remember I told you that let's say in 2024 that you bought your shares for 20 naira and in 2025 you're selling for 13 naira. Now, let's see what that means. So let's say that you bought in 2024 and you're selling in 2026. Now, I also want to point out at what happened in the stock market. The moment when it was announced that was last week Monday, not this last Monday, last week Monday, when it was announced that this tax law has been signed. And there is this thing called the regressive tax law that they say that from the moment you bought your shares till whenever you would sell, that it will be calculated like that for you. And then you will have to pay the capital gain from that moment till when you sell. What happened in the stock market was very, very brutal. And that's the worst this nation have seen in the last 10 years. The stock market started falling. Like prices were crashing. People were selling off by all means, simply because they don't want to be caught up by January 1st, where they have to pay a capital gain tax from people who have been holding their shares since 10 years ago, people who have been holding Nigerian brewery shares, people who have been holding Dangote shares for the period of 15 years. And now you're telling them that when they now sell by January 1st or by next year, they'll have to pay as far back as 15 years ago to date. So they sold off so that tax will not be caught up with them. And what happened in the stock market was very brutal. And then they came back and said, we've heard Nigerians and we understand, we got the message. And they're saying that it no longer applies. So it will only start from the current period to the extended period. So let's say you've now bought from 2025. Because it's starting from the current period. So let's say 2026, when this tax will go into law, and then you were able to keep it to 28. All right. So when you sold this amount, how much did you sell? Let's say you sold at, I don't know how many units you have, but let's calculate the sum total of all the shares and say that you sold at 45 million naira. At what year did you sell it? Let's say 2028. Are there allowable expenses? Because there's something that happens in the stock market. You also pay the stockbroker's fee. All right. So if there are lawyers that helped you, there are legal fees, there are agent fees, there are improvement costs, as the case may be. So how much of this did you pay? Sometimes some stockbrokers will collect as high as 3%, 5%. So imagine that you enter the trade with 20 naira and you made one naira gain and you want to exit. It simply means that the 1 naira you made is for your stockbroker, because by the time he collects his 5%, all that money is gone. So there is also a rule that the CFA also applied that says that you can tell your stockbroker that this is at what point you would make payment. So it simply means the cost plus, whereby you've said that I want to make additional 20 naira. So on top of that additional 20 naira I want to make, which is 14 naira, whatever that comes up there, that is where your brokership percentage or brokerage percentage will come in. All right, so but I don't want to take us deep into the whole CFA courses, but then let's focus on this. As time goes on in this class, we would simplify lots of these things to make it easy for the common man to understand. All right, so let's move on. So let's say the legal fees you paid after all these things is about a million naira. All right, so this is where I talked about the whole of the inflation and the rest of it. So let's enter cumulative inflation multiplier. So at that point, what was the inflation rates at that moment? So let's say at the end of the day, we're able to catch up with about 1.45. And then we'll calculate your capital gain tax. So let's say for Mr. Debt, the asset type we are talking about here is shares, and his disposal proceeds was about 45 million naira. And the acquisition cost nominal was 2,026. And multiplying index was around 1.45, and the index cost was about 2.937. Allowable expense is 1 million naira. So the capital gain tax this guy is paying is zero. Why is it zero? I would explain. You have to make a disposable amount of about 150 million naira before a tax can apply. All right, and your profit from that should be up to 10 million naira profit from that from disposing those shares. If it does not amount to that, it simply means that you are not paying tax. Let's go back and adjust some of these things. Now, let's say that at the end of this year, now this guy was able to make up to 170 million naira. And we are back here again, everything being equal, and we are calculating the CGT. Okay, still the same thing. And now let's address an issue here that is I'm trying to calculate for the profits. Okay. So the disposal exempt. Now let's try something. I'm trying to let us play around with a couple of things so that we can understand what we are talking about now. So now let's say that the disposable exempt has been removed because you've actually gone beyond the disposable proceeds of 150 million naira. So let's see what the tax will look like again for this guy, the capital gain tax. So the capital gain tax here has been applied at 10%. You've done your disposable tax, and at the end of the day, you're having your chargeable gain of 168 million naira after all your deductions. The inflation rate has been deducted, which is this indexation multiplier. Okay, it has been deducted. Your index cost has also been deducted, and your acquisition cost, which is nominal, has also been deducted, and a couple of other things. So we've not talked about withholding tax. You can also decide to go back and apply withholding tax, but not for the purpose of this. So you're seeing that at the end of the day, you're seeing this total graph that shows that your net proceed is 153 million naira, and here you're having your CGT as a tax as 16. Capital gain as 16.8 million naira from the 170 million naira you made. So I know this might be a little bit complex because I wouldn't want to go deeper than this because we didn't show that there are people here who have made a level of investment in shares. Someone is saying tax on cars and to go live abroad. So the link to the WhatsApp channel has been dropped already. So it's called the bit.ly/midweek MS. So it's there on that. All right, I wish I can drop that again. Okay. So it's on the screen. Just simply join our WhatsApp channel. And so imagine if 99 of us on this call on our WhatsApp channel, it simply means that it will make information sharing very easy because every single day or 2 days we drop high quality information there. And within this week, I'll take my time to try to formulate these financial declaration videos that will keep our minds sane. Sometimes we might have this level of doubt that comes to distort our thoughts. When you are not so certain about some financial moves you want to make. So there are certain, I took my time, I drafted about 1,000 I am statements, like 8,000 of it, I am statements of I am rich, I am pure, I'm wealthy, I'm great, I make strong financial decisions. All those I am statements, I would drop them on the link on the YouTube channel and post on the WhatsApp channel so that we can actually go there, and whenever we are sleeping, we can play it, we can do a couple of other things and work things out. So how many of us have enjoyed this class so far? So one thing we've been able to enjoy, and we've been able to keep to our promise that we will teach you the 4 tools you didn't know about. And those 4 tools we are mentioned, the 3 of the tools were a calculator, and one of the other 2 was the Tax Pro Mass dashboard. All we kept to our promises. So we don't do clickbaits. No, sir. We don't do clickbaits. We do things that would make you gain 100% value at all time. All right. So if you've enjoyed this class so far, if someone says, sir, please, can we keep these classes within the stipulated time frame? Yes, of course, we can always do that, provided you also come to the class early. All right. So, and I also want to say that probably from next week, once we are done with this tax series, whatever class we finish will no longer be available on our YouTube. So as we are done with any class, we delete it so that if you don't come to the class, you might miss out. So that will be the end of it today. If you have any other thing to tell us, you can just post it on the WhatsApp channel, on the comment section here, and that will be all for now. All right. So, Mr. Admin, if our positive affirmation video is available, I don't know, we can also start playing from now, and probably by tomorrow night, I will drop that on the group so that we can also listen to at our own comfort. So, this will be the end of it for tonight. All right. So, I sincerely want to say thank you, and I really appreciate your being here. I know. I also want to thank Mr. Shego again, especially for availing his time to be here with us, and also you, our most important guest, for making out your time to come here to listen to us. All right. So we are very, 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 very grateful. All right. So the link to the WhatsApp channel is floating on the screen. So please, you can simply just do that and come in. If you want me to share that again on the comment section, I would gladly do that so that it could be of great benefit to everyone. So please invite your friends to come join the WhatsApp channel for the added value services that would be made available to only our premium insider money guys. All right. So thank you very much. Thank you very much. So the link to the WhatsApp channel, it's here on the comments. I just dropped it now. So please, that'll be all for now. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful night, everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. So I'll take a bow. Thank you, guys.